Good morning, YouTube. Today we're talking about St. Andrew's Day. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to War Story Wednesdays. If you don't know what War Story Wednesdays is, there's a link up here or a link down there, whichever device you're watching it on. And basically it just explains what this series is. Today we're going to be talking about a video that I did for St. Andrew's Day. This was the first video where I'd used my brand new Ronin S when it first came out, the original Ronin S, and the only lens and camera combo that I had at the time that I could use so that actually balanced was the Nikon D5, which you may or may not know doesn't have very good, if any, video autofocus, so only manual focus really, and the only lens that I could actually balance on it was a 50mm, so pretty much shot the whole thing on 50mm on a gimbal. But yeah, you'll see it. I'm pretty happy with this one. I only had to do, back in the day when we had to do 1 minute videos, now we do long form videos, so this was back in the day when you could rapidly edit a 1 minute video. So what I'll do is I'll show you that now and then we'll review it afterwards. Cheers, buddy. So, as I said, short and sharp. This was Scots Guards, and they basically they were going to do like a caber toss, I think it's called, with the big logs and some traditional Scottish activities for PT session, but I think it was due to space and health and safety, good old health and safety, that they decided to do some fairly simple PT stuff, but it looked good. They were obviously dressed up in traditional Scottish attire, and they did have welly boot tossing, which apparently is a real thing. But yeah, we'll go into that as a review of the video. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. Obviously, it's only short and sharp. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into it, and we're just going to go through step by step. Cheers, buddy. So, the reason why I was trying to think for ages of why or how I was going to make the video interesting, because basically traditionally they go and they have gunfire, which is like an alcoholic based drink, and they go and visit them at like 6 in the morning. Nobody wants to be filmed at 6 in the morning. So I thought I'd do short, sharp snippets to obviously subliminally show you that they're drinking. But that was like what, 14 seconds from start, well, probably like 10 seconds, including the alarm clock to get you going. And I hate that alarm tone. I'm just gonna put that out there. Yeah, and then short, sharp whiskey drinking, bit of tartan, bit of traditional music in the background, and then I had to meet them back at 10 o'clock to what do you call it? 10 o'clock to go to the PT session. And by the way, I had to get this video out the same day because it's St Andrew's Day. So got there at 6 in the morning, edited all that bit, short, sharp bits. But whilst I was out there, I noticed, I was looking outside my office and I noticed the sun was piercing through between some trees, and I thought that'd be the best way to signify that they've got up really early and it's the start of the day is nice sunrise. So I thought I'll quickly go past a tree to get a bit of sun flare, and then I had to remember that in my head, so that when I got back there at 10 o'clock to film the PT session, I basically revealed out of like a hanger pillar bit, so I knew that I had to match it up afterwards, which obviously you've already seen it, but you'll see it again once I've played. And then I went online really quickly and downloaded a time lapse of sunrise just to try and piece it together. But obviously had to do this within, I don't know, probably about an hour and a half to do the first bits of edit and come up with some sort of plan, and then go back and film the rest of it. But here we go. So I tried to mix it up a bit with the angles. As you can see, you've got normal gimbal stuff, reveals and stuff like that, and I wanted to obviously try and follow the bars that's going up and down. And then because I'm using manual focus, you can have a lot more creativity, I think. So I basically had him in focus, tested it a few times, because obviously he's doing reps, it's quite easy to replicate it. I would like focus on his face and then wait for him to come back up. And luckily, obviously, he made that expression. But yeah, it was cool. And then you'll hear in a minute. I'm not going to keep pausing it, but you'll hear in a minute. I heard him say, "Take the strain." So I just put that sound effects still in there. So it's almost, the music's almost like ambient. You can't really hear all the cheering and stuff like that. But I just thought I'd get the "Take the strain" in there.
Take the strain.
So for the welly, I had to, obviously I'm filming all this on my own, so I had to film them chucking it and then do a bit of matching action of the boot landing. And I'm using manual focus as well, so I'm doing a predetermined point of focus, hoping that the welly would land in a specific position. And I think this was the first take as well, happened to land exactly where my camera was facing, just as a bit of a setup bit, so that was funny. So those two bits annoyed me with the trophy, because it had to be bang on a minute. This is when, for whatever reason, they didn't like that things were more than a minute long, for whatever reason, about algorithms and stuff. This is 2018, so slightly different back then anyway. But yeah, I just didn't like that. I liked both these shots for the trophy, but I didn't like the fact that it didn't actually get into focus before it chopped to the next one. It was my fault for not being stubborn and choosing just one clip, but I preferred both, so I just kept both in there. Yeah, and then obviously right at the end then, mixing in the cheering from another clip with a bit of slow-mo. I don't know what frame rate I was shooting on then. It's like 4 years ago, but I'm not sure what frame rate it meant. It must have been 50 frames a second, but must be 50 frames a second. Don't know. It does look quite slow, but I don't remember what the frame rates of the D5 was. But yeah, a longer video considering it's a short video. But I wanted to do a decent breakdown of it. Yeah, it's quite. I really like this one, and I got not weirdly, I guess, I don't know. I did get loads of praise. So the media team that's in London, that where another group of guards, Scots Guards, are based. Apparently, their commanding officer wanted to know who'd filmed it, and was mega happy with what I'd filmed. So that was cool. Yeah, in this short, sharp, fast-paced life, you don't get much praise for much of your work, but not that you ever ask for it or work for it, but obviously you have a bit of pride in your job. And yeah, I was happy with this one. So if you were happy with this one, then comment below, and I'd love to know what you thought about it. So yeah, like, subscribe, and follow, and all that good stuff. If you want to see these videos in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'm not 100% sure what the next video is going to be. Coming into a bit of a busy period at the moment with moving units and moving to another location. So I'll try and get these videos out as consistently as I have been. But yeah, we shall see. But until next time, thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.